Are leverless controllers like this Razer Kitsune I have here better for the new Fatal Fury City of the Wolves game? I'm in front of the legendary Hey Arcade here in Akihabara, Tokyo. And of course, it's in arcades like these where fighting games had their beginnings, were popularized, and where the competition was fierce. Of course, if you were to play fighting games in the arcade, you would have to learn to use an arcade stick, like the one attached to this Third Strike cabinet that's right behind me. Of course, 1999 was a great year because that's when both Third Strike and the predecessor, the City of the Wolves, which was Garo, Mark of the Wolves, was released. And of course, for the longest time, it was the only way to play fighting games. But recently, I switched to leverless controllers like the Razer Kitsune because of certain advantages, which I'll speak about later. And of course, I know it's great for playing games such as Street Fighter 6 that they're playing right at the back here. But the question is it also good for the new City of the Wolves? All right, so I'm back home. I'm here actually staying at my friend's place in Tokyo, so I need to be a little bit quiet. I'll be here till Evo Japan. It's next week at the time of filming. So just a little bit of background. I switched to leverless controllers because I wanted a little bit more precision when I play my fighting games, especially for Street Fighter, for footsies and neutral, moving back and forward, and in City of the Wolves as well. Back and forward on leverless is very, very, very snappy because it's a button that you press, as you can see here, and it's not a stick. So you can go from forward to back immediately while skipping neutral, because on arcade stick you have to go to neutral first and then go to the back motion. And so this video is sponsored by Razer, and they kindly sent me a copy of City of the Wolves. They didn't have to send me a copy of the Razer Kitsune because I was already using this. I've already been using this ever since it came out for about, what, a year and a half right now. This bad boy has been with me to multiple tournaments all around the world. It is super handy. The buttons have not failed me. They feel the same as they were the day I bought them. I have thousands and thousands of hours in various fighting games in the past 2 years. One of the great things about leverless as well, and about especially this Razer Kitsune compared to other leverless controllers, is that it is so thin and so light, as you can see. Well, of course, there's some nice RGB that I customize. I love teal. But at the same time, it is thin, it is light, and my back, my 42-year-old back, thanks me so much because I don't have to carry such a big weight. I don't have to carry such a huge and heavy arcade stick to locals and to tournaments. So without further ado, how does leverless and this Kitsune do for City of the Wolves? And spoiler alert, it does great. So let's talk about movement. Movement in SNK games is very dynamic. As you can see here with Rock, he can run, right? And then he can stop on a dime, right? So there is no set distance for running. Of course, at the start, you have to run like what, maybe 2 steps. But once you finish your 2 steps, you can stop right away. And as you can see with leverless, this comes in super handy because I can transition from running. And in this game, you can just press the rev button and forward to back immediately on a dime, right? As you can see, it's so fast. Or to block. And backdash is back and rev. So you can run forward, tap back immediately, and it's so fast, right? Without having to go from forward to back. Now, all right, so another thing with this game is shimmying. And to shimmy, you need to do a hop, right? So there are 2 kinds of jumps in this game. Jumping normally, if you hold jump or if you press jump for a long period of time, right? Rock does a pretty high jump here. And if you just tap it like King of Fighters, he does a shorter hop. Now, I always had trouble doing this in the arcades with the arcade stick because sometimes I would always accidentally hold up forward a little bit too long or up a little bit too long instead of tapping it, and I get a normal jump. But for leverless, you just need to use your right thumb, all right? So the jump button is here, as you can see. And it's meant to be, it's done so that you can use your left thumb, right, in neutral, just if you just want to jump normally. But it's also meant, it's down here so that you can use your right thumb as well. So
And I think it makes for a little bit more of a snappier experience. So as you can see, you can run and then you can jump like that. Now this is important because this is how you shimmy in this game. So I'm gonna make, Hotaru is gonna tech on wake up. As you can see here, she's gonna tech when I throw her, right? And so to shimmy, you actually run and then hop. As you can see, wild punish. Now, if you don't get the hop, there is a good chance that you won't be able to catch it in time. So this is a normal jump. As you can see, I wasn't able to punish her throw tech attempt. You don't see the wild punish on screen. But if you hop, you can definitely get it like that. And it's so easy using just your right thumb, tap jump like that. All right, so back to movement though. Not all characters have a run. So Marco here and I know Gato and Kane and a bunch of other people don't have runs, they have a dash. Right, so you can dash by pressing forward and rev, and my rev is this button. And back dash as well. So as you can see, if I try to chain the dashes together, there's a bit of a lag in between the dashes. You can cancel the last frames of the dash with down, right? And so with the leverless, you just need to hold forward, tap down, and then tap rev again to get a dash cancel. It looks like this. As you can see, it's pretty fast. It's like a Mishima wave dash. What happens is that this also opens up certain Oki setups for characters with dashes, because it's like, for example, if I throw here, and then if I dash 1, 2, I'm plus 15. I can't dash a third time, I think. I'm minus 5, right? But if I want to... Yep, you see, I'm plus 20 if I dash cancel. Right, and I don't know, there's probably some setups that require more frames, some meaty overheads, I don't know, for other characters as well. All right, next I want to talk about SOCD shortcuts. Now, they are present here in Mark of the Wolves as well. And some of the SOCD shortcuts you can do is you can do an instant, well, almost instant quarter circle forward motion. So this is Gato's quarter circle forward, his palm, right? And if you look at my hands here, I just need to press down and I will tap forward and jump with my right thumb at the same time I press punch. And it's just one motion. So if you look at my hands, I'll just do it again. I just have my thumb on the jump and my index finger on punch. And it's just one motion to get a quarter circle forward motion. And of course, supers can be done really quickly by doing this twice as well. Just hold down and then tap forward and jump at the same time together. And you get really, really, really fast. All right, so one of the things with City of the Wolves and most KOF games is that it is super easy to get a DP if you're trying to do a fireball while running. So I'm gonna run forward and then I'm gonna try and do a fireball, a Reppuken. If I just do it the normal way, by just, you know, down, down, forward, forward from a run, right? The game remembers my forward motion and I get a DP and I'm dead. This is really important because Rock has a really good, for example, standing B, sorry. And if I want to do running standing B from range into a Reppuken, if I don't do anything else from a run, I'm going to get a rising tackle. Now, one of the ways to get a Reppuken, to make sure you get a Reppuken from a forward motion, is ending your motion with a jump. Now this applies to every character as well. And of course, I prefer to jump in this instant with my right thumb. So if I press forward and then I just do a fireball motion and I press jump and punch at the same time, I'm gonna get a Reppuken 100%. Now this is really good for Rock for pressuring, because he's got a really, really good far B, sorry. And of course, this applies to any other character as well. All right, so now on to the good stuff. Let's talk about defense. Now, Mark of the Wolves, which was the old City of the Wolves game, was released at the same year as Third Strike 1999. Now, they were very, very famous for being very, very technical games because Third Strike had parry where you had to tap forward at just the right time in order to parry. The famous Daigo Evo Moment 37 video is that. And at the same time, what you didn't know, what a lot of people didn't know, was Mark of the Wolves had the opposite of that. Instead of tapping forward to parry, you press back at just the right time to just defend. All right, so with just defending, you get a little bit of life back, and you can cancel your just defend action into a special move. So now Hotaru has her Rekka, and she makes it safe. Well, normally it's unsafe, right? But she can cancel her EX Rekka into a fireball. As you can see here, it's -1. So that's definitely not punishable. But if I just defend all of it, and I'm going to try, and if I just defend all of it, I'm able to cancel any of the just defense at any time into a DP. So let's try. Right, so as you can see there, if you manage to just defend the entire string, you can cancel the last just defense into a DP, therefore punishing Hotaru. The reason why I like to just defend, or I think it's really cool to just defend even the fireball, is because you know that she's going to do the fireball, EX fireball, to make the string safe, and if she does that, she wastes the meter, the rev gauge at the bottom, right? So it's a really, really nice thing to do if you can parry all the hits. Of course, you can also just cancel into DP at any time, as you can see there, but you don't get her to waste extra bar. Now, here's the extra fun part. What if you don't get to just defend the first hit? What if you are already blocking the thing, right? This string, can you punish her still? Yes, there is a thing here called hyper defense, and it's basically red parry from Street Fighter 3. Even when you're in block stun, if you tap forward at the right moment as an attack hits, even if you're in block stun, you can get a hyper defense state, and in a hyper defense state, it works just like just defense. You can cancel that into a special move. So I'm gonna try and hyper defend the last hit and cancel it into a DP. All right, so the timing is really tight, but if you can do it, it looks really cool. And that's gonna make sure she doesn't get to abuse this safe string so much, because Hotaru is a menace right now. And I think this is really good, like just defense and hyper defense are so good on a leverless controller like this Razer Kitsune here, because again, the precision of just tapping a button, I feel, is more precise than pushing a lever forward. So I don't know if it's because I'm just a better fighting game player right now, but multiple just defense, as you can see with me just defending the entire string, and then timing the hyper defense feels actually easier than I thought it would be when compared to when I just first heard of the mechanic and compared to me playing Third Strike back in the day. All right, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I made it kind of a case as to why leverless is super viable, not just viable, but really, really good for a game like City of the Wolves. And I just want to say thank you again to Razer for sponsoring this video, but not this Kitsune, because like I said, I bought this with my own money and I really love it so much. So hey, I can't wait for EVO Japan, which is next week at the time of filming this. I'm in Tokyo, as you saw. Yeah, I can't wait to see some high-level City of the Wolves play next week. Now, so hey, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.